My name's Martian. I'm attempting the Colorado Trail here in 2023. A bunch of you probably know me already. Hopefully some of you don't. And this is your first introduction. But I hiked the AT Nobo last year, Georgia to Maine. And now I've had that urge, but don't have the urge to do another 2,500 or 3,000 mile hike. So Colorado Trail at 490. It's a nice little compromise to scratch that itch. And maybe I'll keep my job. Who knows? Not too worried about it. Got a good bit of money squirreled away. And I'm out here in this beautiful, beautiful country. Bighorn sheep. Colorado is flat. There's no mountains here. It's just flat. Mullein, it's in its second year. They're biennials. The first year they grow along the ground like a cabbage, and then the second year they bolt upward. These are all the flowers, so I'm just going to give it a little break. Or just rip the whole plant up. Not sure what delicacy we have here. Should I eat it? Should I eat it? I'm going to eat it. It's mild, sweet. That looks like a gooseberry, ribes species. They're tasty. I'm gonna have another. So yeah, they look like little red balloons. They're mildly sweet, not bitter, really no other flavors, just kind of fleshy and a little bit of sweetness, like 3 out of 10. But they're tasty. I'm gonna keep eating them. Never had them before, so hopefully I'm not allergic or something. I'll be all right. Look at that dam. Shooting water out. Yeah, if that thing breaks, we're all gonna be dead. Holy hell. It's nice and cool here too because of the cold water coming out.
This is a quote from Luna Leopold, Aldo Leopold's son. Water is the most critical resource issue of our lifetime and our children's lifetime. The health of our waters is the principal measure of how we live on the land.
Another thing, I'm carrying a wiffle ball bat. Got a fun little story attached to this bat. Got it on the AT. See, there's the peacocks. I'll tell those stories another time. But this, I guess, there can't be any way someone's attempted to do the whole Colorado Trail with a wiffle ball bat. So I guess I'm the first person to attempt it. So we'll see how that goes. People ask a lot, so we'll see. We'll see. Later on, I'll probably tell the whole story about it. Finally off this dirt road. Didn't really even get steep. I mean, it didn't even have any hill till the last mile. But now I am on a trail. Much nicer. Look what we have here. These flowers are pretty telltale sign of what they might be. But here I've just grabbed a little leaf and some sort of wild onion. So not gonna eat too many. They're not super potent, but they are wild onions and certainly taste good. Ooh, a yucca. Here we go. Look at those little fruits. They're supposed to ripen and they're very seedy, but they're supposed to produce kind of a jelly-like consistency inside, similar to blackberry jam. Yep. Not sure what species, but it's in the yucca genus. Look at those Doug firs. Pseudosugum enzizii. Pseudosugum enzizii. Pseudosugum enzizii. There, some sort of little understory maple. Don't know the maple species out here, but I'm gonna key it out. Shouldn't be too hard. I'll put the name up there once I know it. And look at these Doug firs. Finally in some nice forest. Here's a little guy. Yep, Pseudosugum enzizii. Pseudosugum enzizii. Pseudosugum enzizii. Say that 3 times fast. Here's a nice one. Nice yarrow. Miscalled it in the previous video, but that's Achillea millifolia, named after the Greek myth of Achilles, and millifolia means 1,000 leaves. You can see how finely divided that is, but I'll take a little bit and walk with it. Multiple flowers on the stalk, kind of forms a little umbel similar to carrots. Although I believe it's in Asteraceae. I'll double check that. But Achilles, the Greek myth, apparently there is some truth to the myth, because he allegedly used this plant, which is pretty much worldwide, to heal his soldiers and forget what it was, heal their wounds or burns or something. But there is actually some truth to that, as the plant does have some antiseptic properties. It's also a diuretic. Look at that. And I want to say it can be used to relieve burns, or it's some sort of anti-inflammatory. Don't count me on it. Obviously, go see a doctor. But hey, in a pinch, find some little yarrow. What's that? Member of the daisy family? Maybe a Symphotrichium. Over in the east there's a species like that, Symphotrichium. But I don't know what's out here. Oh, look at this. Hang on. Well, leatherleaf's the common name. Oh gosh, Berberaceae is the family. Call them Oregon grapes. Is it Berberis or is it Mahonia? It's either Berberis or Mahonia. Those are two similar families. Oh, and there's a little yucca down there. I mean, not a yucca, a yarrow. Let's start with Y. That's yarrow. We have here tubular flowers, opposite leaves, square stems. I'm inclined to believe this is a bee balm. Let me just see. Oh yeah, that's bee balm. That's the good stuff. Yeah, very fragrant, member of the mint family, and great for bees. I was not aware there was a western Rocky Mountain species. I know the east has like 20 or 30, it seems like. But yeah, there's one out here too. Very pretty. Here we are. First peak of the day. I believe this is called Lenny's Rest. You can read that if you want to. Some Eagle Scout. I believe he lost his life out in these mountains. So always good to remember that even an Eagle Scout who should have some of the best training for this sort of stuff can still get into danger. Never overestimate your own abilities, and stay calm. Stay calm and drink plenty of water. This is going to look super weird, but see this pine bark, pine tree? Has kind of a vanilla root beer type of smell. Pretty big one. It's a ponderosa pine, Pinus ponderosa. Pretty common tree at these mid elevations in the Midwest and Rocky Mountains. Beautiful pines, I love them. I want to say they're a yellow pine, but don't quote me on it. Well, look what we have here. I'm inclined to believe this is a member of the cherry apple plum family. Wondering, let's get a riper one. I'm wondering what it tastes like. Not gonna eat it. Terrible. Not really. My tongue feels like a ball of cotton now. It could be perhaps juiced and sweetened. I'm not sure what they have out here. Kind of reminds me of Aronia, Aronia, aka choke cherry. That's what I would call it, because it looks like a cherry that'll make you choke. I don't know if I could have swallowed that thing, because man, it was bitter and sour and just a tinge of sweetness. I mean, but man, that bitterness overwhelms you right away. Right away. Oh, well, lesson learned. Not so tasty. Here we go. Here's a great one to know. Leaves of 3, let it be. Western poison ivy. Slightly different than the Toxicodendron radicans, but there you see the fruits. Definitely don't touch the fruits. Nice little campsite. About probably 8 miles from the trailhead. If you're watching this video and have the inkling to do the Colorado Trail, but don't know how far you can go, you can go about 8 miles. There was also one back at 7.2 at Lenny's Rest. You could camp there, but it wasn't very flat. And no water. This one has water. Here we go. First Ericaceae. Arctostaphylos uva ursi. I don't know a common name other than uva ursi. And oop, Look right there. There's some sort of sedum mixed in with the uva ursi. It's medicinal. I don't know for what, but I know it's been used medicinally. I am not 100% sure on the species, but it's definitely in the genus Rubus, and it is definitely edible. Whether it's tasty or not, I don't know, but it's some sort of oh, try to keep it in focus, huh? Some sort of raspberry. Here we go. It's good. It's good. I think that's a thimbleberry. Wow. Wow. That's the best raspberry I've ever eaten. By far the best raspberry I've ever eaten. Incredible. Look at that thimbleberry. Delicious. I'm gonna eat it. See? Thimbleberry. Goes right on your pinky like a thimble. Here we go. Another weird one. Looks like bamboo, but it's not. It's actually Equisetum horsetail rush. Also not a rush. I don't really even think it looks like a horsetail, but it's more closely related to ferns. One of the oldest living plants that has not changed much in the past 100 million plus years. Look at this little guy. I want to say it's a lodgepole pine. But look at that. It's growing out of the crack like a bonsai. It's 2 needles per fascicle. Leads me to believe it's more closely related to Virginia pines and shortleaf pines over in the east. But hard to say. I don't know these plants. First Castanea. Some sort of, I don't know, Castanea coccinea. And I believe that all of the species are mycorrhizal, or actually, no, parasitic. I believe they're actually parasitic on fungi. Neat little fact about those plants. That's the first one I've seen, but I'm sure I'll see many more. Here's some more Castanea. I believe people call them Indian paintbrush, but that's a kind of a dumb common name. Some sort of legume right here. You can see pinnate leaves, and you see the big, is it called a labellum? I think it's called a labellum, the top petal there. But yeah, pretty little one. Holy cow, look at all that. This gooseberry is loaded. Loaded. I'm gonna eat some, but I couldn't possibly eat all of those. Holy cow. That's like a meal right there. Here we go. There's a Tradescantia species. I know we've got Tradescantia virginiana on the East Coast, but I did not know there were any growing over here in Colorado. So, there you go. Well, that's section 1. Did it in about 7 hours. Maybe just a hair over, but I stopped a lot to take videos of plants. Anyway, here we are, back on the South Platte River. Sticking with the theme today, here's a Rudbeckia, black-eyed Susan. Pretty little plant, real pretty plant, but sticking with that theme of the sunflower family. Here we go. This looks like wild hops. Humulus something or other. Don't know what the species name is, but I know it's in Cannabaceae. Well, here's a flower, and then presumably of the same plant, there's a fruit. I'm gonna taste it. Whatever this plant was, it tasted kind of like maple syrup, oddly, but it's almost certainly in the blackberry family. I think it's a rubus, honestly, but I do not know the plants out here. Not as well. So I'm not sure if this is the same species, just a black form, but this is another gooseberry. You can see those are definitely gooseberry leaves, but I think it's a little different. We'll see. Tastes good. It does taste the same pretty much. Maybe a little juicier actually.